Good evening and welcome everybody. Apologies, just having to quickly clear the throat there, but we are here for the WOR round 5 race at Qatar, and while the drivers are getting their first laps just started, I'm currently on my own for this one, so please bear with us, but we are going to go to the race, the qualifying pretty much now. We'll speak about all and everything that is due to come here in WOR tonight, but let us get down to it. I believe Quartz is actually on an in lap, and let's go on board with Flotman. Flotman is doing a fantastic job this season so far, and let's see if he can continue his rise with TTM. Cameron Dowd's there, currently 4th, but he isn't actually 4th. It is very much a case of no lap times yet to be set as we head around this 16 corner circuit here in Qatar at the international circuit. And Ryan, one of the only drivers, I think, or maybe the only driver to have points in every race this season, is looking strong so far, as Joe Murphy, BRT Joe Murphy, now is setting the fastest lap of the race, and then it's quickly beaten by TRT Tudi as things are continuing, or lap times are continuing to flow in. Here's Cameron Dowds is 5th, 4th, pushed down to 6th with TTM Lucas throwing himself into 4th place as we continue on board. Let's go on board with Shazoo Venom. That's what can Venom, I believe, actually possibly has invalidated his last lap time and hasn't been able to set a lap time in. So let's go back on board with Quartz as the GT10 driver. It's the last one to set a lap time out of the first runners. A lot of these drivers have invalidated or thrown themselves straight back into the pit lane. Some maybe will go out, will do another lap time. As you can see, another driver, I believe that's an Aston Martin coming out of the pits. That could very well be Shazoo Tom going in and doing another lap time here with 13.5 minutes left of the session remaining. This is going to be an interesting one as we see Quartz coming through this little kinky bit from 8 and 9. It's all just very deft turning, really, as his teammate in the bright green Kick Sauber car gets out of his way to try and give him as much view as possible, I think is the best way. Sometimes you can get caught out quite with cars just stopped there, and it's just not always easy as he now heads round the final corner. What can Quartz do? Can he throw himself into a good position here? It's looking a little bit slower than he would have liked as a 1:21.4, as I would when Cameron is on track to do a lap time, and we'll go on board with him. We've got an out lap though for Shazoo Tom. Let's see what the Aston Martin Cup driver can do and see how he can handle it. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to be pole and how this qualifying session is going to go down, because it's not as easy as it can be for some of these drivers at this sort of track, because it is more built for MotoGP, but it can be done very, very well in an F1 car as well. As Shazoo Tom heads on down into turn 1 then. It's nice and tight to that corner, which is quite reminiscent, really. Maybe less of a tight corner of Zandvoort, but as he heads on through turn 2 and 3 now, just definitely touching the curbs and goes out wide into turn 4. A little bit of a right angle corners, these ones. Through, nicely done for Shazoo Tom at the moment. It's a 29.9 for his first sector, which I think he will be all right with that one. As Shazoo Tom continuing through now into turn 7. These very Maggots and Beckett's-esque 7, 8, 9 as he heads on down into now turn 10. Nice sweeping left-hander, and turn 11 is just a little bit more of a turning angle as they head on down through into turn 12. 56.7 for his second sector here, Shazoo Tom. It's looking relatively okay, and I think though he will want to be pushing a little bit harder than he is at the moment, but TRT Tudi definitely having a good run of things at the moment. Joe Murphy definitely a driver to beat As they head on down, as Tom heads on down, it's P6 for the time being. That is Quantum. Oh, so that's Cloud. Sorry, Quantum is he? Which one is first? Is it Quantum or is it Cloud? It's Cloud first across the line. It's provisional par with a 120.4. As Harrison has invalidated. Gatkowski, whereabouts are you on track? He is just rounding the final corner now. Down the start, finish straight for Gatkowski. And across the line, it's P6 for the moment for Gatkowski. His teammate in the Mercedes heads on through the third sector now, trying to get a decent lap time in as a banker with 10 minutes of the session remaining. As he heads on through. Down the start, finish straight goes Quantum. Across the line, is it going to be enough to put himself quite high? It's a very good lap time indeed from Quantum, up into second place. And as I promise, let's go on board with Cameron Dowds. Let's see how he can handle it through Sector 1. It's looking relatively solid from the first few moments on board with him as he heads on through Sector 1. As crossing the sector line, he is up, but only marginally up on his lap time, as he will probably want to be pushing a little bit more as Cameron Downs, one that everyone thought he would be the one to beat this season. At the moment, he is getting there, but yet to really stake a claim in this championship fight. That is down to the TTM guys at the moment. But we will go to that very, very shortly, probably within the break between qualifying and the race. But Cameron Downs flying at the moment, pushing as hard as he can as he heads into Sector 3 and down into turn 14. Now another kink to the left, which will be turn 15, down into the final corner of this race, where moves can be made in the race to get positions. But that's going to definitely be one to think about. But Cameron Downs across the line then for the Aston Martin driver up into P4 provisionally. Who can we go on board with next? TTM Nick, is he? Let's see what he can do. He's halfway through a lap, halfway through Sector 2. Joe Murphy then goes quickest of all. The lap times are getting closer and closer together and getting faster and faster and faster, which we do expect. At the moment, Joe Murphy has the edge over Tudi. The first run was Tudi having the edge over Joe Murphy. Cloud is going to be an interesting one. He set that lap time a little bit later on than earlier on than Tudi and Joe Murphy, and he's not that far off it. 0.02 of a second, I believe, off of Cloud at the moment, but it is all about Nick's at the moment. He's with the one we're on board with. So I believe there's a Haas crossing the line as well. That's Barracu going into third place, but TT and Nick across the line. Is it going to be P10 for him provisionally? Who could we go on board with in a couple of invalidations here? Gatkowski, I think, is on a lap time, so it might be worth going on board with, sorry, not Gatkowski, Quartz, who's just started a lap time. As let's see what Quartz can do as he heads on through into the first sector, turns 2 and 3 now, where he wants to be able to use as much as a curb as possible, but also keep it within those white lines, because that'll be the major points. And something that I haven't mentioned yet is the penalties here can be quite easily got in qualifying when you're pushing too hard, and also in the race when the tyres are starting to come away from you. 7 minutes of the session remaining, and into the middle part of Sector 2 is Quartz now, and the GT10 driver is going to want to continue pushing hard and getting as much time gained as possible as he heads, well, towards the Sector 3 marker, Sector 2 to Sector 3 marker. He is up by 0.4 of a second of his lap time. That will put him above Shazoo Venom at this moment in time. But with 6 minutes left of the session, he probably wants to find a little bit more time in that second sector, or the third sector right now, to get him through. TTM Harrison and Gabor, the two drivers not yet to set a lap time. Very wide from Quartz there, and an invalidation for the man trying to put himself with a decent lap time. I think maybe Shazoo Tom could be on a lap, but let's go on board with Cloud. Actually, Cloud is right behind him, so we get two drivers coming through here. Shazoo Tom has a massive lock-up there, and, well, I say lock-up, a massive incident, a massive moment, thankfully. No termination of the car, but he is well and truly out of this part of the qualifying session. But with 5 minutes left, he should be able to get it back to the pits and throw a new front wing on and get himself sorted. Cloud, what are you doing right now? It's quite close to the curbs. He's pushing as much as he can to get as much milliseconds quicker than his lap time. He's currently sat P4, crossing the line on the sector. He's down on his lap time. That's not ideal for him as he's heading now down through turn 14. He's going to want to hope that he gets as much time gained through these small corners that he's got left. Into the final corner now for Cloud. What can the Red Bull driver do as he heads down and nearly crosses a white line, going as far as he can across it, and he's made no imprint on his lap time, unfortunately for him. Harrison, are you on a lap time? Harrison's just about to cross the line, and he's thrown himself provisionally P10. Not a bad lap time for Harrison. And in the background, oh, I thought that was a car going off the track, but it's a car going in the pit lane, which could have been a little bit problematic. Let's go on board then with Gatkowski, the Mercedes driver. Oh, very wide there, and an invalidation for him. Where else can we go for the time being? Furious, I believe, could very well be just about to set a lap time as he heads on down the start-finish straight. Well, actually, he's just about to finish his lap, and he's put in a little bit quicker, but not enough for the time being. There's another Mercedes, which I believe is Quantum, who's invalidated. He's going to throw himself into the pit lane, which he does, and that means Barracu could very well be starting a lap. Let's see what he can do through all this as well. Barracu wanting maybe eke out a few more tenths of a second and see if he can displace Tootie or Joe Murphy. Joe Murphy could actually well be on a lap time, so it might be worth heading over to him just momentarily, as he is halfway through Sector 2. He's up on his lap time as well. This is quicker. Can Joe Murphy find any more in Sector 2? Crossing the sector marker. He's actually down in Sector 2. That's not ideal for the Visa Cash App RB car, whatever you want to call it these days. Racing balls, I believe it is. But we are not really here for that. We're here for Joe Murphy and seeing what he can do around the final corner, down the start-finish straight. He's barely on his lap time, so that's not ideal. Barracu, can you do something incredible for us as you come on through? As this is not ideal, as Brando throws himself up into provisional pole. That is a very, very good lap time from Brando to displace Joe Murphy. 3 minutes left of the session, and time definitely against some of these drivers to get lap times in. Gabor being one of them. Gabor, we know how good he can be over one lap pace. At the moment, it's just not happening for him. Barracu made a mistake through I believe it was the middle sector, and into the pits he goes. He's not happy with it. He knows he knows that he needs to find more time. Quantum, that is the first Mercedes driver. It won't be. It's always the second driver you choose. Gatkowski is going to be the first driver to set the final laps of qualifying here, and thankfully there's not going to be cars getting in his way. But what can he do in this position? Currently in the place where you say unlucky for some, 13th place. He's definitely got a little bit of, pressure on him as he coming into the final corner. He needs to get at least, I want to say 4/10 of a second to give himself a good chance in this final push in qualifying. 1 minute and 48 seconds remaining here, and Gatkowski has one lap to really push for it. Brando has retired from the session. He is happy with what he has done. He's the first man to set the lap time, the big lap time, and he's happy with that there. Justin has retired as well. He doesn't think he's going to get any higher than 5th. I don't think he could get out of the pit lane in time either. But Gatkowski through into turns 4, now into turn 5, pushing as hard as he can. He could have used possibly a little bit more curb on the exit of turn 5, but enough of the exit into turn 6, which is exactly what he wants to be doing. The same here at turn 7. He's pushing as hard as he can, is Gatkowski. He wants to be able to give himself a great chance in this race, because it can become very much DRS train, slipstreams train down here in the race. There's a Red Bull there getting out of his way. 50 seconds remaining in qualifying, and Gatkowski has an awful lot of time gained. He is purple in Sector 2, if the timing map is to be believed. He is really going for it here, is Gatkowski. Can he put a cat amongst the pigeons with the top runners as he heads on down the start-finish straight for the final time in qualifying? And across the line for Gatkowski, it is only P9 for him. He has done a very good job with that, though. Oh, goodness me, Cameron Dowds has really messed up that there. Unfortunate for him. Round the final corner. Let's go on board with Quantum as he heads on down the start-finish straight. As Shizu Tom has retired from the session, Quantum throws himself into a very nice second place. Who else can we go on board with? TTM Nick. I think TTM Flopman actually is coming across the line, but I'm not going to push and get across over that. Let's just see if he does increase on his lap time. He has done, but it's only as far as 8th place as Flopman for the time being. But his Williams teammate for now, TTM Nick, across the line. It's P9 for him. Who is next? There is could very well be a TTM show right now. It's Quartz crossing the line as he has not. He's done better, but not enough. As Gabble is not going to go any faster than what he's got. Let's see what Hazara can do. He's 0.2 of a second up on his lap time, so it might be enough to displace Venom at this moment in time as he's heading around the final corner now, pushing as hard as he can. There's some other drivers throwing themselves through this as across the line for Hazara into P17. He does displace as Cloud there, throwing himself into P3. Joe Murphy has invalidated. Barracu has invalidated. There's an awful lot of drivers here that have invalidated. And I think that's TTM Furious crossing the line. That is qualifying over and done with. And that is very much a very hectic qualifying session. Tooley will probably be questioning himself why he has not been able to get higher than he has. As into the pits now. We just wait for everyone to get it sorted and done and dusted, which is not ideal. But so we just wait to continue, guys, on this. Just wait for this, and then we will do a proper rundown. But it is TRT Brando in the McLaren, doing a very good qualifying lap, and that is, well, fair play to Brando. And Quantum there in second. Look how close that 9,000th of a second. That is a very close pole position lap time between the two of them. As just looking through, Ryan doing a good job keeping himself in a chart of points. And we will just wait and see as the McLaren continues to drive around here. And it is our lovely host Ryan that's doing this as well. We will just get the screen up, and there it is. It is Brando that is on pole here in Qatar, with Quantum in second place. On the second row of the grid, we see Cloud and Joe Murphy, then Tudi and Barracu on the third row of the grid. On the fourth row of the grid, is Justin and TTM Lucas, with the fifth row of the grid being Ryan and Flopman. Then we have Nick, Cameron Dowds, Gatkowski, Furious, Harrison, Venom, Tom, Hazara, Quartz, and Gabble, and that is the qualifying session over and done with here in Qatar. Nice and, well, interesting qualifying session, to say the least, right now. And yeah, we will continue to see how this one pans out. Let us go back to last week's race, and that was the Brazilian Grand Prix at Sao Paulo. And Flopman won that by 0.6 of a second to Brando, who is the pole sitter here tonight. Very close timings there, and obviously close timings tonight as well. Quantum finishing third, and then Cameron Dowds on his, well, return to form, I would like to say, in fourth place. Then there was Furious with Gabble in sixth place, Cloud in seventh, eighth to Ryan, Hazara in ninth, and Typical there in 10th place. Doing a very good job. As we will go and take a look, I suppose, at the standings next, which that means Furious is in first place with 53 points after 4 rounds here in WOR Console Tier 1. Flopman in second place. Cameron Dowd finally getting himself into a title fight here in WR Tier 1 in third. Barracu there in fourth place. 5 points behind Cameron Dowds. Ryan, like I mentioned, doing a very good job with his point scoring this season, up into 5th. Joe Murphy, many who thought that would be a title contender, currently only in 6th with 25 points. He's a race victory complete behind Furious. Shizu Volokongan there in 7th. 8th to Quantum after a good point score last time out. Cloud there in 9th. And then Gabba rounding out the point scoring position here in WOR. Now, please bear with us. We do have to do a lobby restart here tonight, just to get things all sorted. And I am just trying to find to be right back screen for this one, so we can just have a little bit of a nice little interlude until the race has started. But yeah, wonderful qualifying here in WOR. Very, very close between the top 2 sitters. And we will wait until the lobby is back up and ready before we really get going again. Do bear with me. Sorry for this one. We're just going to get a screen up quickly, ladies and gents, and we'll be back very, very shortly for hopefully the race here in WOR console tier 1. And yeah, so far it's been very, very good session, and we will be back very, very shortly. it would help if I had that on. Hello and welcome back, everybody. Apologies, I am just trying. We are trying to get ourselves back up and sorted. Hopefully, as you can see in the background there, it looks like everyone's getting themselves sorted into their positions and sorted and ready. But we are very, very shortly getting here back underway in WOR, the Qatar Grand Prix, and hopefully we will be underway very, very shortly. So let's talk about last week again, the previous round in Brazil, and that was a win for Flopman, which I'm sure he's going to be over the moon with, really, there. As I've just, well, actually, I pushed over to the standings. Apologies, but no. Brando, who is today's pole sitter, is in second place. Definitely, he's going to be looking to go one further than last week, as he is there in, well, second for Sao Paulo. Quantum in third. I think he's second here tonight. He's done a very, very good lap time and looked very strong in qualifying throughout, I do have to say. Cameron Dowds, though, he will be disappointed in himself for not being in that probably the top 5 here in Qatar. He's probably not too happy about that. He is third in the championship overall. I know he'll be pushing himself hard through the season. Barracu as well, I believe starting 6th here tonight, will be wanting a little bit better than that. Ryan, who's 5th in the championship, is starting inside the top 10. He'll be hoping to continue that point scoring season that he is on. He's done a very good job. Joe Murphy there on 25 points in 6th place. He's going to want to push that little bit more, I think, throughout all this as well. So yes, Qatar, we are here in the very hot desert. It feels pretty hot in the UK right now as well. It is Cloud who is in second place, third place, sorry, in the race from qualifying. He's done a very, very good job. Joe Murphy there in 4th place on the second row of the grid. They're going to want to push hard. It'll be interesting to see what sort of strategy. I'm assuming it's going to be a medium hard strategy here. With what they usually do throughout console tier 1. 2D in 5th place on the third row of the grid, sorry, with Barracu in 6th on that alongside him. Then it's Justin, BRT Justin in 7th, or the first driver on that 4th row of the grid, and alongside him is TTM Lucas. Ryan, like I mentioned, wanting to continue his point scoring ability that he's had this season. He's done very, very well. There's no disrespect to him at all. He's done an amazing job, but he probably will be a little bit he probably would have wanted a little bit more. There in 10th place is Flopman, who's doing a very, very good job in the standings overall. Don't forget, he'll probably be a little bit annoyed with himself in 10th, but I think he's always been a little bit more of a race driver than a quali driver, if that makes sense. In 11th, you've got TTM Nick with Cameron Dowds there in 12th place. Like I mentioned earlier, he's going to be wanting to push a lot harder than that. Then there is 13th place on the 7th row of the grid is Gapkowski, and alongside him is TTM Furious. TTM Harrison in 15th with Shazoo Venom in 16th. 17th is Shazoo Tom Hazara in 18th. And 19th is Quartz with Gabble unable, unfortunately for him, to set a lap time. He's going to be a bit annoyed with himself on that one. He probably would have wanted a little bit more would have Gabble. But yeah, it wasn't to be. I think there's just a few moments. Actually, no, there's not a few moments. We are going to be racing very, very shortly. We're on 5 laps here in WR, and we're back underway, racing here at round 5 and into turn 1. It looks like Quantum is going to try and have a go up the inside of the McLaren driver. The Mercedes driver's got it as they hold on through. They're still side by side. Brando's desperate to hold on. It's what he wants. It's what he probably thinks he deserves, and he's managed to stay ahead for the time being, with Cloud dropping a position. And there's some incidents down further on. As soon as I get my track map up, you'll see what's happened. It's Barracu that's gone. That's not ideal for him. And let's have a look at the positional changes, as that's Tudi and Barracu, I think, have kind of coming together. And Tudi's, well, not too bad off, but Barracu is around, and he's quite a little bit, 7 seconds, 8 seconds away from all the pack. And look in the background there, there's side-by-side action as they head on through turn 8 and 9. It's a little bit easier to go side-by-side through there. than some of the other parts of the track as they head on down, as Justin up 2 places all over the back of Cloud, and he will like to make the move stick on that Red Bull driver as quickly as possible. Look how close Justin is to the back end of that Red Bull. Surely he's going to be able to make a move as they head on through turn 15 into turn 16. Is he going to deploy and make a move? He's going to think better of it. And as they head on down the start-finish straight, we're officially for the first time, or this part of it for the first time anyway, as Brando leads us down, as TT and Lucas is trying to find a way through as well. Look at all that there, all side by side, trying to jostle for position. But nothing happening at the moment. Cloud, to mention, is on the hard compound tyres, same as Shizu Venom, same as Cameron Dowd, who has dropped 2 places. Shizu Tom, I'm not surprised with Shizu Tom doing that as well. I didn't even realise Hazara had gone into the pits there. He's having a front wing change, and he has retired from the session. That is unfortunate for him. We just can't think he will continue on with this one. As we head on through, halfway through lap 2 of 29 here in the sale, as Justin trying desperately to find a way past the Red Bull driver, but it's just not happening at the moment. And he's got to be careful that he doesn't lose the DRS to the cars ahead, because this could change Justin's race and Lucas's race, probably not for the best. Cloud is doing a good job of just hanging in there at the moment. He also wants that because he doesn't want to drop down the order either, as they head through the final corner for the second time tonight. Down the start-finish straight, Justin pulls to the right-hand side. Joe Murphy's the fastest man on the track. There's the DRS open for everyone. There's a few people looking, but it's Justin that gets the move done into P4 as Quantum takes the lead of this Grand Prix. As Barricue, now the fastest man on the track, and unfortunate for him that he's 6.4 seconds behind Gabor in 18th place. And looking ahead, Brando is under immense pressure, and who is that in the background? That's Gatkowski. What has happened to Gatkowski? Has he lost it like Tom did in qualifying? We will have a look at Gatkowski's car. Is there front wing damage? He's managed to hold on. Harrison, there's no damage to him either. He might have been involved in all this as well. Unfortunate for Harrison. Let's go back to Joe Murphy. He wants to get himself back into the swing of things in this championship, but Brando is in the way of things at the moment, and there's a quick harvest for the Red McLaren driver as they head on through into turn 15 now. Sorry, not turn 15, sorry, turn 11, now into turn 12 and 13, as they are slowly pulling away. This top 4 is slowly pulling away from Cloud. Cloud's got to be careful, but Cloud is so quick through this final sector. He's done a very, very good job of holding on, but I think TTM Lucas is going to be chomping at the bit to get the move done on him. Down the start-finish straight and to the inside, Joe Murphy goes. He has a look on Brando. Is it going to be a move opportunity? It is. Is he going to take the lead of the Grand Prix? Joe Murphy, 2 into 1. That is a very, very good move from Joe Murphy. Brando, wow, desperately trying to hold on to positions for all his might. Cloud did hold on to Lucas through all this as well, and Flotman's there. There's a little bit of break, I think, between the Alpine of Venom and TT and Nick, which means that we're going to have a little bit of a split in this train that we've got at the moment, which will help Cloud immensely. Down into Sector 2 they go, into Turn 7 for these guys, and it's very, very tight at the top at the moment. There is that gap a little bit at the moment for Cloud as he continues through it all, as relatively good at the time being for these guys at the top. It's positional changes throughout, but nothing major at the moment. They're just finding their feet in this Grand Prix on lap 4 of 29. As Quantum back where he started in this Grand Prix. Didn't lose out to Brando down the start-finish straight. Actually, he lost out to Joe Murphy on the last lap. Let's see what they do as they head on down the start-finish straight into lap 5. What if Brando is going to try and make a move, or Quantum is? Quantum moves to the inside. Justin in the background. Does he dart up the inside of Brando? He does. And this is going to be very, very close between the two of them. The Ferrari and the McLaren battling away. And Brando loses the position. And that's not ideal. As TTM Lucas gets past, finally, Cloud on the fresher, well, the nicer medium tyres. And surely not. Flotman's going up the inside of the hard runner. And Flotman's desperate to get it. But I think he's going to have to withdraw that attack. He moves to defend from Ryan behind, and this is very, very close between them, and very, very good clean racing for the time being between the three of them there, as it's continuing to battle on through. TTM Lucas pulling away a little bit in, realising that he's got 0.8 of a second to Brando ahead. Cloud is also further 0.8 of a second behind, and these guys have got a little bit of pressure on them at the moment. But again, Cloud entering into this third sector, it does look very, very well. He does look a bit quicker, so he might be able to get himself back into the DRS range as they head down the start-finish straight. It is agonisingly close, but he crosses the DRS deactivation point. He could still, though, be dispatched by Flotman down the start-finish straight. Let's see how it goes. Down the start-finish straight they go. There's Joe Murphy in the foreground as well. He will go for the lead of this Grand Prix. I wonder if Justin will try as well, but there goes Flotman to the inside, as Justin does take Quantum, and look in the background there. I think Ryan's going for Cloud as well, and Cloud dropping like a stone at the moment with those hard compounded tyres, and he just drops right in front of TTM Furious as they head on through turn 2 and into turn 3 for lap 6 of 29. Here comes Furious up the inside, trying to do what Flotman did, and Flotman unfortunately failed through this part, but I don't think Furious is going to. Cloud still holds the inside line as they head on through turn 6, and somehow that Haas has managed to get past Cloud, and that is a very, very good opportunistic move. He kind of had to do it, did Furious, otherwise he could get stuck and lose DRS from the cars ahead. And now Cloud has got TTM Nick for company just behind, and Nick is going to be hounding him as much as he can. Gabble, unfortunately, the first person to succumb to the penalties here in Qatar, and it's not for want of trying to not get penalties. It's just so difficult sometimes to keep within the track limits, and as you're pushing so hard, as we have seen there. Back to the leaders, I guess we will go. Let's see what the Bit 2 BRT drivers will do, Joe Murphy and Justin, as they head on down the start-finish straight. I wonder if Quantum's going to get himself involved in this as well. Down into turn 1 they go. Are they just going to blockade a little bit? That's exactly what they do. Gabble speeds into the pit lane, and I believe he's going to retire from this race as Joe Murphy and Justin, 2 BRT drivers, go and hammer and tong through the first sector. It's exactly what we want to be seeing. Drivers battling away, no matter what, no matter the team. And it's a shame to see Gabble has left the session after his retirement. It's a shame for him. He's not going to get the best of luck today. Heading through into turns 7 and 8 now for the lead runners. Quantum very much to the back end of all this as well. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to take victory in this one. Is it going to be BRT Justin? Is it going to be Joe Murphy? Is it going to be Quantum? Or are we looking at Cloud, who's having a very good, solid race? But he is getting closer to the hard runners. Shazoo Venom has been passed by the other 2 hard runners in this Grand Prix, which are Cameron Dowd and Shazoo Tom, respectively there. Nick is still trying to find a way past Cloud in all this as well. Mediums will go for a little bit longer yet. I think we'll be looking at pit stops, maybe like 12, 13 for the mediums. Shazoo Venom is now the only driver on the grid to pick up a penalty. 3 seconds for his trouble. There goes Joe Murphy to the inside, dispatching, giving Justin plenty of room as they go into turn 1. No battling between those 2 serious ends. Cameron Dowds gets past Nick in the background there. Cameron Dowds really pushing it, and there's a little bit of carbon fibre, it looks like, flying up, and it might have been from that car. It doesn't look like there's any major damage to the kit car, but there was definitely something that flew up there. Quantum unable to find a battling way past the 2 PRT drivers at the moment, and that's probably, well, it's exactly what these guys didn't want. They didn't want to be stuck behind the 2 BRT drivers. So head on through sector 2 now into turn 7 and into turn 8. Quantum is desperately trying to find a way past Justin right now. It's looking very, very close. The drivers quite tight. Look how much more turning Quantum was there to get himself onto the line into turn 10 and maybe trying to make a move through 11. He's stuck to the back end of that Ferrari right now. Quantum is having a very, very good race. And you know what? A dark horse for the win. I would definitely put Quantum up there. But all of a sudden, Brando's managed to find a little bit of impetus through all this and is trying to attack as well. Down into the final corner. Justin harvesting a little bit of energy. It's so easy to waste ERS here, and Quantum is going to look for one way or another to try and make a move. He thinks about it, but there's just no way past the two BRT drivers. Oh, look at that in the background. Cloud getting a little bit of momentum back on these hard compounded tyres, and there's contact between him and Furious as the exit of turn 1 happened, and he gets the move done. But there was definitely contact between the Red Bull and the Haas car as they head on through now. Let's see what else is going on. It is very close at the front still. It's very, very easy to get just hooked on the battle at the front. Now back down to 8 seconds away, from the rest of the grid. With Harrison also pitting 5 laps ago. Maybe for front wing damage, maybe something we're not sure on for that one, as we continue in the race at Qatar. It's not been, well, it's been pretty straightforward so far. Exactly what we were expecting, just drivers using the slipstream to overtake, and the two BRT drivers helping each other out through it all. Here comes Joe Murphy. Speaking of BRT, let's see what Justin and Joe Murphy do this time. And let's also see what Quantum can do, because Quantum's getting closer and closer. He's just not been able to full-on attack these guys yet. And in the background, Flotman is sizing up Lucas as well. And I think this time, Joe Murphy, he's been caught out by his teammate. Here comes Quantum up the inside, and here comes Brando as well. The McLaren driver is having a go back at Murphy from earlier on. And Quantum and Justin side by side as they head on through turns 2 and 3. The Ferrari driver's trying his best to keep it, but I don't think he's going to. Maybe Quantum's going to have the lead of this Grand Prix. Joe Murphy's trying not to have anything. Flotman's trying to go involved with Brando, but Brando's got the move done, or has he, on Joe Murphy. This is all very, very tight here in Qatar, and all of a sudden, Joe Murphy is defending like a lion. I think is the only way we can describe it, as he's still side by side as they head through Sector 2, but he's finally defended the position. But I wonder how much that's affected his his tyres, B, his ERS usage, and C, if he's used any, extra fuel, just to, I say extra fuel, but use extra revs to get through. Quantum then, all over the back of BRT Justin. He's using this to his advantage to really attack the Ferrari driver ahead of him as he exits turn 15, nice and smoothly there, and down through the final corner, down the start-finish straight for Quantum, and this is going to be into the pits there. That's 2D going into the pits. Here comes Quantum and Joe Murphy as they head down into turn 1. I think that's Joe Murphy into the lead now, and Quantum is oh my goodness me, it's all happening behind as well. Lucas trying to hold on to Cloud. Cloud has got a little bit of he's got the tyres between him now, where they've definitely come to him, and he's now managed to dispatch Lucas like Lucas did dispatch him just a few laps ago. Lap 11 of 29, 2D's pulled the trigger early, and I wonder if this will mean other drivers will pull the trigger earlier than expected as well. Then they possibly would have wanted to. It is all about strategy and trying to put off the other drivers with going in early, and 2D does come out ahead of Barracu, but Barracu, granted to him, has pitted as well, and Harrison, unfortunately, unable. He was a bit further behind, 1.7 seconds Barracu, not able to get everything sorted for him, unfortunately, for Harrison. But he might be able to get a bit of an undercut on some of the drivers. Possibly. We'll wait and see on that one. Joe Murphy leading the Grand Prix as they head into the final corner for the 11th time tonight, and everyone, a lot of drivers throwing themselves into the pit lane, as Quantum does as well. That means Brando, Flotman Cloud obviously wasn't going to be pitting this early, as Furious and Gatkowski just behind, battling away here. And Furious is desperate to hold on to the positions, but I think Gatkowski, as Tudi picks up a penalty, I think Gatkowski's got the move done on TTM Furious. Furious is not having the best of races by his standards tonight so far, which is a little bit unfortunate for him. Let's go back on board with the leading two medium runners. Brando and Flotman, who decided to stay out, as we had a gaggle of cars just pit. So net leader this Grand Prix is Joe Murphy. The leader of this Grand Prix is Brando, as we head on and continue lap 12 of 29. And we wonder whether Brando and Flotman pit this lap, but Cloud is definitely going a little bit further. He'll be looking lap 16 plus, we will say, for the time being. But when the cars are lighter, you can go a little bit further on the tyres. So that is degrading, the car obviously being lighter. But let's see what they can do here as, well, we enter the final corner on lap 16 here and into the pits. Kind of expected from Brando and Flotman. They will pop down the order a little bit. Cameron Dowds, will he attack Cloud, or is he got the overspeed to do it into turn one, or is he just happy? I think he's happy just to follow a little bit Cloud right now, as Flotman, Brando getting past there. Let's see from a Joe Murphy perspective. He's heading down the back straight, or the finish straight now. He's crossing the line. Is Justin going to attack him, or is there going to be an incredible overcut? I don't think there is. I think it's going to be... Oh, is there? Has Brando managed a wonder move there? He hasn't, but that is right behind. So nothing lost, but a tyre better for him. A lap better for him. We will continue watching this brawl here as the Williams Flotman giving a little bit of a tail shake to Lucas behind. I'm not sure what that was about, or whether it was just a little bit of a loss of back end. Yeah, we will continue with the net leaders this Grand Prix. Cloud, Cameron Downs, Shizou Tom and Venom still have to pit, but they are going to be in a better state for it come the end of the race. Actually, you know what? It might be better to go on board with these guys, as a positional change is likely, because Cameron Downs and Shizou Tom, bearing in mind their teammates in this race, are still out. They're on the hard compounded tyres. There goes Shizou Tom. As Shizou Tom done up the inside of Cameron Dowds, he doesn't. Cameron Dowds takes the lead of this Grand Prix for the time being, but Shizou Tom has managed to get in front of Cloud as well. Cloud is going to be frustrated with the amount of times that has happened to him tonight. He defended very, very well early on, but it's still all kicking away. Are we going to see any movement between the next train of cars? Does Justin go for it? No, he goes to the inside and darts back behind Joe Murphy, as Barracu is now the fastest man on the track with a 1:23.5 as they continue on through the first sector, this second train of cars, as there is a third train now, I believe. Quartz has Gatkowski, Nick and Furious for company. Barracu has caught up with the undercut to these guys, but nothing major. It's 5.2 seconds down. He's going to be hoping for a safety car. So head on through. These guys head on through into turn 7 and this little curvy part of the track. And look at that. Look how close. Again, Quantum gets to the back end of the driver he's attacking, but he's just so close, but just not happening on that occasion. Let's go back to Shizou Tom, who's 0.6 of a second, or half a second now, behind Cameron Dowds in the other Aston Martin. Does Cloud have a go at Shizou Tom? This is getting very, very close. I wonder if there's going to be the overspeed for Cloud as they head into turn 1. No, Cloud has to back out of any sort of move because the road just ran out. Ran out of road, and Shizou Venom sitting behind, happy as Larry, just waiting for a mistake or two to happen as these guys head into turn 4. Down the start, finish straight again for the second lot of train here. Again, no movement, but I think Gatkowski has taken Quartz for 13th place as Quantum and Brando fighting away. These two have been fighting away all race long, and Quantum is desperately trying, and I think he's managed to get the move done. A little bit of elbows out by the Mercedes driver, but he wants to be battling with the BRT guys, and that's exactly where he is right now, as he is directly behind BRT Justin, as Brando trying to find a way through, any which way through, to make a move stick. A back end wobble there from the Ferrari driver of BRT Justin, and back to the leaders as they head turn 14 at 15 of 29. We're about halfway through this Grand Prix, I would say now, if my math serves me correctly. Yes, they are about halfway through, and down the start-finish straight again for these guys. Does Shizou Tom do anything on camera? Dowds this time of asking. Down the... There you go. And Shizou Tom has a look. He's just sticking close to the back end of Cameron Dowds. And this is going to be interesting. I think, really, let's have a look at the leader time. 22 seconds between Cameron and Joe Murphy. 21.9. It is going to be time soon for these guys to think about pitting before the medium runners really are going to punish them. I haven't gone back on board with the rest of the group because I've just, as Shizou Venom is agonising and close to the back end of Cloud there, I thought there was going to be an opportunistic move for the Alpine driver, but he thought better of it. But 21.7 seconds, it's slowly coming down. Cameron Dowds has got to, well, all these drivers have got to think about it soon. They want to have enough medium tyre strength towards the end of the race, but they also don't want to have too much work for them to do through it all. Are they going to pit lap 16 or are they going to pit lap 17? Cameron Dowds has kind of the golden opportunity here to pit first in front of Shizou Tom. I think that's what he has to do. I think lap 16 is possibly the best option for Cameron. Does he do it? No, but Shizou Tom takes it, and so does Shizou Venom. They want to fight. Let's have a look at these two. Actually, let's see if Cloud does anything to Cameron Dowds as they head on down into turn 1. They don't. Let's not bother about the two pit laners right now. I will go on board with Shizou Tom very, very shortly. I think he's going to come about maybe the back of this train, as here they are, Cameron down, Justin unable to battle. Where is Quartz? As we look there, oh, this is very, very tight, and that is Shizou Tom. I thought there was going to be an incident there. It looked very, very close, but nothing thankfully happening. But the times are tumbling down for the drivers on the longer tyres, like Cameron Dowds. They're struggling at the moment. I think Cameron should have pulled the trigger early, unless he's made an agreement with Shizou Tom. We don't know if they're talking to each other on this point between the team chat. But at the moment, Cameron Dowds leading this Grand Prix, but the net leader of this Grand Prix is this man, BRT Murphy. Joe Murphy is doing a fantastic job with his with his BRT teammate Justin, and just controlling this race. But Quantum is definitely getting his nose involved. He's desperately trying to get away from the diffuser of that Ferrari and get a move done. Cameron has pitted this lap. Cloud, interestingly, hasn't. It will be interesting to see where Shizou Tom and Cameron Dowds end up after all this, and whether the undercut is even worth it. Look at Brando under pressure from Flotman around the outside heading into the final corner. There's a little bit of contact, a little bit of something flew off there. I'm not 100% sure what, whether it's just a little bit of the game glitched through it all. But there, Flotman is desperate. Joe Murphy is still leading this Grand Prix. Flotman is desperately trying to... Oh, there is that front wing damage to Flotman? It looks like something's missing. I'm not 100% sure, as the Williams driver is desperately trying to find a way through. Where is Cameron Dowds and all this? Wow, that is a massive loss of time for Cameron Dowds. He's got to get through the train behind this one, and then he's about 3 seconds behind Shizou Tom. Surely he can't have lost that much time in the pit, in that one lap difference. But it looks like it, because Cloud is now 19.9 seconds ahead of Joe Murphy. That was about 22 seconds, 3 laps ago. So very much the case that they are struggling on those the harder compounded tyres that have been on it for a long, long period of time. Harrison also being one of those drivers, 14 laps. I wonder if he is trying to go to the end of this Grand Prix or if he is just holding out hope for a safety car. There is Cloud into the pit lane. Let's go on board with Justin as he is desperately trying to find a way through. Well, I suppose he's not really desperately trying to find a way through Joe Murphy. He's just biding his time. Quantum and Brando, though, look at this. Brando's overspeed is just not there, unfortunately, as Justin goes defensive and allows the BRT team to hold position. And I think he does hold ground for the time being as Joe Murphy is desperately holding on. Flotman and Lucas battling away, which has allowed Ryan to come back through. But look at that. Shazoo Tom out of nowhere. There's Ryan just trying to stick a nose in through there. Shazoo Tom is up the inside from turn 5. Opportunistic move. Ryan is going to be frustrated, but that is Shazoo Tom into 7th place. Have we got an outside chance of a victor with Shazoo Tom? He's done a very, very good job as Cameron Dowd has caught back up, as he's got past Lucas as well. This is a stellar drive so far from Shazoo Tom. He's trying his best to get anything and everything sorted for the time being. Up the inside of Ryan, there is Shazoo Venom, and surely not. Quartz gets a 3-second time penalty, and Venom has got the move done. And Ryan is down to 9th place, and Cameron Dowd up into 11th, getting past Quartz there. Venom has got that 3-second time penalty, just as a reminder, if you didn't know what the black and white flag was there. Back to the leaders. Quantum, sorry, 0.16 of a second behind Justin. Look how close these guys are, as Shazoo Venom making the most of those medium compounded tyres. Here comes Quantum. He's desperately trying to find, he can't find a way through, as there's lots of things going on in the background. Brando desperately trying to find a way through. Quantum trying to get the lead of this Grand Prix. Look how close it is. Brando's there, Justin's there, Joe Murphy's there, everyone's there. And I think Brando's going to have the track position here. It's all over the place. The heartbreak for Shazoo Tom, 3-second time penalty. He is up into 5th place, but that's not what he needed at all, as Joe Murphy struggling with Brando. Is Brando going to get caught here by Shazoo Tom? I don't think he is on this occasion. He has darted to the inside of this time as they head on through turns 7, 8, and 9. Oh, yes. Shazoo Tom is desperate to make those medium compounded tyres work for him right now, and he is doing all he can as they head on through, which has allowed Quantum and Justin just a little bit of breathing room. It's not much, but enough to maybe contemplate everything and just take a moment, because this track is just constant, so full on for the majority of the lap, that you only really get a break down the start-finish straight, and then you don't, because you're wondering about what's happening behind. Brando, I don't think he's going to get attacked. Quantum, I don't think he's going to get the move done. And it's just right at the end. There goes Shazoo Tom up the inside, but I don't think it's going to work on this occasion, as Quantum somehow still leads this Grand Prix. There's just a gaggle of cars in the background here, as is that an Aston Martin? Cameron Dowd's lunged the other Aston Martin, and that has caused him to spin, and well, a semi-spin, and now into 7th place. Not ideal for Cameron Dowds there, as they're currently inside TT and Flotman. I don't think that is meant to be happening, but it's not ideal. Cameron Dowds just maybe sending it a bit too hard, and especially on your teammate. Shazoo Tom struggling to find a way past Brando. Earlier on in the race, it was Cloud that was the driver that was being very difficult to overtake, and then they managed to do so. Now it's being Brando. Brando is making his McLaren about the width of a double-decker bus right now. He's desperately trying to hold on. Down the start-finish straight, onto lap 22. Who is going to be able to do what? As we've seen late moves into turn 1, as Quantum covers off one of the drivers, as there goes Cameron Dowds again, back into P6. Let's not try and throw it up the inside of your teammate this time, Cameron. You've got to keep on, you've got to be in there. You don't want to be taking yourself out of this Grand Prix. as they head on through into turn 4 and 5. It is all relatively simple at the moment, as Shazoo Tom now has trying attack again up the inside. Shazoo Venom picking up another penalty. That's not ideal. And there goes surely Shazoo Tom. Surely he's got to get this done this time. I don't think he has, you know. Actually, he's not going to try two. Surely not. He has thought better of it. But that has finally the McLaren been dispatched by Shazoo Tom as they head through a very, very tight sector of this race. There's so much going on. Lap 22 of 29 here in WOR. Round 5 at the Qatar Grand Prix. And it has been all action since lap 1, really. And that's great to see. Quantum holding a good lap, a good gap to the guys behind. And Joe Murphy is, well, he now has a raging Shazoo Tom. And there in the background, I think that is Cloud and... No, sorry, it's a Williams. So it's Williams and Shazoo Venom battling away. And the Alpine driver holding through at the moment. 3 seconds for TTM Nick. As they head on down the start-finish straight. There's definitely action going on behind. And surely not. Cameron Dowds is going up the inside of the McLaren of Brando. And I think he's got the move done. And I think Shazoo Venom is somehow holding on. As there goes Cloud past Flotman. Or has he? Has he got the move done? It's so close. He has got the move done. And just behind, Ryan is desperately holding on to that 1 point. So close. Oh, a snap there by TTM Flotman as Ryan quite so close to the points. Well, he's in the points and so close to being out of the points. Back to the Aston Martin drivers, I think is possibly the way for it, as Shazoo Tom has managed to get the move done on Joe Murphy. Lap 23 of 29. It's looking all good at the moment, but don't forget these hard compounded tyres will come back to them a little bit at the end of the Grand Prix. I think Cloud has done a very good job doing that 1 lap extra compared to Cameron Downs. And Cameron Downs' mistake of shoving it up the inside of Shazoo Tom is possibly cost him here, but we will have to wait and see as we head on down the last corner for the 23rd time. There's still plenty of action remaining, and at the moment it is so tight, which is great. It's great to see, but we just don't know what is going on all of the time. As Joe Murphy and Cameron Dowds fighting away. That is Cameron Dowds up into P4, and Aston Martin 3rd and 4th right now, as there's still plenty of action happening around on track. As there's Joe Murphy trying to attack back, and it's just not happened on this occasion. Yeah, so close on. We do have a safety car, and that's Joe Murphy. And I've missed something there. I had to take a swig of my water, and what have I missed? Because it's a yellow car, a yellow flag, and it's an incident between Brando and Joe Murphy there, and I think Cloud has been collected, and it's finally a safety car. Harrison's received a 10-second penalty for a severe collision. What do drivers do here? Do they dart into the pits and get a set of soft? The safety car is out. Goodness me, the chat is going to be absolutely crazy. The tier 1 chat. We'll have to wait and see what people are saying. What does Quantum do? Does he pit? Quantum decides it is time to pit. Do other drivers follow suit? It looks like everyone's going to follow suit. Possibly the wise thing to do. No front wing for Harrison. Obviously, I'm guessing something to do with the incident. Some of these drivers, Cameron Dowds being one of them, is going to be massively put out of joint, I think, because of stacking. Poor Cameron. That is unfortunate for him. Everyone has pitted. 2D's decided to go on to mediums. That's an interesting choice. Soft should definitely take you to the end after a couple of laps under the safety car. Furious pitting. It is now a straight fight to the line, and we're probably going to have 3 laps of racing, maybe 2. But yeah, we will. Some of these drivers are going to struggle. And look at this. NLR Ryan, who was desperately nearly out of the points a few moments ago, He's now into 4th place. Could we see an NLR Ryan masterclass and him take victory? We'll have to wait and see. BRT are going to be upset. Not upset. They're going to be annoyed. They had a perfect opportunity there with Justin and Joe Murphy. We're not meant to be playing the team game, but they could play the team game to help each other out, I suppose. But that's not going to happen now. Brando down into 9th. Well, time will tell. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to take victory here. Is it going to be a Quantum or Justin who have been there all race long? Or is Shazoo Tom going to get it on track? But those penalties obviously will come away at the end. And Gatkowski up from 13th where he started on the grid is now 5th. And Cameron Dowds, even though he double stacked, is in 6th place. Very interesting. See what happens. Safety car is staying out. Harrison's got to catch up with the grid for this. Just trying to think how this one will pan out. There's a lot of if buts and maybe for this one. But yeah, the chess game that was going on with this one. It's definitely been lost because of this safety car. There's been no flare up in the tier 1 console chat and Discord, so that's an interesting one. But for now, let's go. Let's see how it will handle. We've had before that point it was 25 laps of pure chess games. Could Justin Quantum and BRT Murphy have held on to the end, or were the likes of Cameron Dowds and Shazoo Tom able to pull away and get into the fight and win? I think that's a question we'll never know the answer to. But there we go. There's a penalty situation right now. Shazoo Tom 3 seconds, 2D 3 seconds, 6 seconds for Venom, Quartz of 3, and Nick on 6. So, you know what? I think with it all being on soft tyres, I don't know who's. There's going to be, there's clearly going to be another incident. I don't want to say clearly. There's going to be another incident because everyone's now back together. There's only going to be three laps, racing laps here, and it's going to be really, really close. And it's going to be mental. That's my prediction. But how does Quantum restart this one? Does he wait? Well, he's got to wait, obviously, because he's a de facto safety car. But does he wait till the real last moment to try and catch people up? Or does he kind of go early? Or does he go mid corner? It's really, really difficult to picture how he really should go at this point, because he's gonna need to make sure he gets everything sorted. And there he is. He's gone. He's bolted. Ryan, I think, is possibly under pressure from Gatkowski as they come across the line down the start-finish straight. Surely not. They are going to hold position for the time being. Shazoo Tom there trying as well. Gatkowski's still having his nose in there, but it's not going to be enough for the time being. These drivers, Cameron Dowds and Gatkowski, surely not, Cameron. That is a wonderful move if you can continue to stick this through. And he has done. Well done, Cameron. There's a lot still to be played for Cameron. He's desperately trying to throw himself through this. The other driver doing well. Here's Shazoo Tom up the inside of Justin. He's Ryan's desperate to hold on as well. Oh, goodness me. It is so, so close. Brando and Lucas battling away for P8 there. Brando getting the position as Barracu and Cloud battling away. Cloud is going to be so frustrated through all this as well. Shazoo Venom up into 10th. Yeah, Cloud could very well have got a very good result here tonight, but it's just been taken away from him, I believe. TTM guys there, Furious, Nick and Harrison. This is really unfortunate for them. Shizou Tom for the time being, as Shizou Venom picks up another penalty. That is frustrating for him. It's 9 seconds worth tonight. As Shizou Tom, the other Shizou driver in the grid right now, as TRT 2D gets a penalty, and that's a red ball. And I believe Gatkowski flying off. I'm not sure what is what, but that's a yellow flag. No safety car can come out, but Gatkowski is going to be furious, and so is 2D, I believe. And another incident unfolds here tonight as Harrison trying to kick-start it all. Here is Ryan holding on to 4th place at the moment. Can he get a podium? Time will tell. We are on the penultimate lap here in Qatar. It feels like it's only been 5 minutes since the stream started. Up the inside goes Ryan, but he's trying to also defend from Cameron Dowds, and that's not an easy task. As Ryan, I think, is going to lose the position. It's Aston, McLaren, and there goes Cameron Dowds into 4th place, and probably a podium for Cameron Dowds when things are all said and done. Who is going to be, well, is there going to be any sort of DRS games coming across at the exit of turn 15? Quantum leading this Grand Prix. Justin hounded by Shizou Tom. Through turn 15 they go. Quantum doesn't do any sort of DRS games, but around the final corner for the penultimate time here tonight, has Quantum done enough? He's gone massively defensive. A little bit of a weave between him. Who is going to take the lead into turn 1? Is it going to be Quantum? Here comes Shizou Tom up the inside. Does he take the position from Justin? He does not. But Justin takes the lead of this Grand Prix, and Quantum's under immense pressure from Cameron Dowds now. He's gone up the inside. Can there be enough from Cameron Dowds to get the move done? There isn't. And Shizou Tom is happy in 2nd place. Ryan is Brando is attacking Cameron Dowds, but that's not coming to anything either. Oh my goodness me. It is still kicking off. Nick picking up a penalty. That's Brando having a bit of a... that was Ryan having a bit of a mistake. And now dropping down to 7th place, unfortunately for him. Shizou Tom all over the back end of Justin as they head on through this middle sector. Turn 8, 9, and then into turn 10. I don't think Shizou Tom is going to fight too hard. He will probably want to win it on track. That would be what he wants. But Justin is doing a good job of holding. And look at Quantum desperately trying to get the move done, but it's just not going to happen. He's just running out of time of getting the move done on Shizou Tom. Cameron Dowds is desperately trying to get in there as well. Shizou Venom picks up another penalty as Cameron Dowds trying around the outside of Quantum. That's still battling away. It's really strong between the two of them. There's a little bit of contact going off there, and Cameron Dowds takes that podium position. But it is... oh my goodness, there's massive amount of crash. Justin takes a victory. Why has Cameron Dowds dropped to 10th place? I'm not 100% sure what on earth happened there. But Cameron just dropped all the way. Wow. Questions I don't think I'm going to get answered. That's a very, very interesting point. But it is Justin that takes victory through all this. And what a way to end that one. A very, very hectic. Jensen, yeah, that probably does make sense. Jensen, penalty on the... I can finally actually have a look at the chat, and I will look through it properly in a minute for you guys. But yeah, that does make sense if he picked up a penalty on the last bit there. But as things stand, Ferrari win with Justin, then Quantum, then Flotman rounding out the podium, then Ryan in 4th place, 5th to Lucas, Barracu in 6th, 7th to Cloud, TTM Furious in 8th, 9th to Shizou Tom, and 10th to Cameron Dowd with that penalty that didn't get really brought up, I think. Brando, Quartz, Harrison, Nick, Venom, 2D, then finished in that order. Then Gatkowski, Joe Murphy, and The other 2 drivers that didn't finish were Gabor and Hazara. That's how it went. Ferrari, as Mark is saying in the chat, but Ferrari finally getting a victory. Let's go back to this one. Hot and sweaty race for me in the commentary box. I can only imagine what it was like for the drivers in the chair or in the wheel setup. But what a way to end the Qatar Grand Prix. A 3 lap shootout at the end, which caused some mayhem. And I think there is going to be some questions asked in the chat. Oh my goodness. I left. Oh my goodness. It's going to be interesting to read through the chat through it all at the end. I don't even want to go through that, but what a way to finish this one. Let us have a look at what is next to our on our calendar. It is Abu Dhabi next week, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Yas Marina circuit. That's hopefully going to be a very, very solid race. Then you see we've got the Italian Grand Prix and the Bahrain Grand Prix. So that Monza and Bahrain, the Mexico City, Saudi Arabia, and then ending at the Japanese Grand Prix. This is going to be a very, very strong way to end the season. And with the way things stand, there's definitely some questions and some tickets or some steward inquiries going to be thrown in there. Goodness me, let me know what your thoughts are in the chat. Mark, ask a question if you wish. It would be great to see what you say through there. But Cameron Downs, I wonder if there's going to be any penalties removals for penalties achieved by being pushed off the track or track limits or anything like that. And also there was a major incident that caused the safety car through that race as well. And also some things that happened there was no way I was going to be able to catch on board with. But why does Ferrari never get an on board? I'm sure I went on board with Justin once or twice. Apologies if I didn't. I mean, I couldn't go on board with Gabor. He wasn't there. Well, he was, but not for long. But yeah. Yeah. I think that's where we're going to leave it for now. All the PC action is going to be starting, continuing this weekend. So don't forget to watch that one. Hopefully it's going to be as entertaining as what we've had tonight. And then we will back for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix next week. Thank you for bearing with me for the solo comms. It's interesting when it is this way around. But interesting nonetheless. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you in the next one.